Every single time Portugal plays, people talk about Ronaldo and whether he should start, whether he should play, whether he should even be in the squad for Portugal. So I think it's really time to regroup and talk about and find what should Ronaldo's role within the national team should be. So let's talk ball. To really know and understand how big of a role Ronaldo has in the national team, I looked at the minutes he has played. Combining the Euros and Nations League, he's our third most used player, above guys like Bruno Fernandes and Ruben Dias. And 20 minutes somewhat comparable to what a star player would be. A star player who will start every single game no matter what. And for him to be getting more minutes over Bruno Fernandes, who I think in my opinion is Portugal's best player and a player that no matter what happens should be playing or should be starting 11. And over Ruben Dias, who is our main anchor of the defense or who's our best player in defense, should be getting over more minutes over these two guys. And Oriol Vitinho's also become a key piece in our midfield. Or Rafael as well. And only behind you guys in the Nunes, for me that's way too much for Ronaldo. Obviously I know how big inflation is for Portugal, but I think over 1,000 minutes in all those games, I think is way too much for Ronaldo. And apart from Nunes, who is on left back in this system, in this squad, and apart from Del Costa, who's our goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper should be in every single team, be the guy with the most minutes, Ronaldo is the only guy who's not getting heavily rotated in a lot of games. Like every single player gets subbed off, every single player gets rotated here and there. But Ronaldo is the only guy that doesn't go through that. And that can be seen with the minutes that Ramos has been getting. In this league, Ramos has only played one game. Out of 8 possible they could play, Ramos has only played in one, and that game he only played half an hour. And that was the last game against Denmark, in which was in that half an hour, especially came around because of extra time. And Ramos actually scored in that game. Actually, was important for us when you consider the difference Portugal had with Ramos on the pitch in terms of the off-ball work rates, and he scored. He made Portugal better on the pitch without no doubt. And it was refreshing to see a new guy play that as a striker instead of Ronaldo. So I also want to talk about also Ramos playing for national team, because if he wasn't playing well enough, then I think it would be well justified that Ronaldo get all 2 minutes over him and also start over him. But Ramos, stats came up recently, that Ramos is the third player with the most goals in 15 games in Portugal history. He's above Ronaldo in this category. He's above Luis Figo in this category. He's only behind Perotel, who is an amazing player in Portuguese history, and only behind Eusebio, who's arguably our second best player ever behind Ronaldo. So for him to have this record, to have this output of goals, obviously this kind of is influenced because of that game that Ramos had at the World Cup, in which he scored 4 goals against Switzerland. Obviously, it was a bit overwhelmed by that, so you can kind of take it with a pinch of salt. But still, for a guy that's our backup, that is mostly a bench player, to be doing this when he plays, I think he should be getting more opportunities. And the fact is, even though most people don't want to really admit it, the fact is that Ronaldo has kind of not allowed Ramos to have so many opportunities. Because of Ronaldo and the kind of thing that Martinez has with playing him, Ramos has these opportunities to demonstrate and showcase his ability got decreased because of Ronaldo. Now, as I said, Ramos hasn't really shown a lot in terms of club level to really deserve that spot, or at least to really solidify himself as a top striker. But it doesn't mean that for our nation, doesn't mean that Ramos can have a positive impact. Look, we've seen Lukaku with Belgium play, and he still is like a lot, maybe like his key player alongside De Bruyne. He still plays at a very high level with Belgium, so I don't see why Ramos not getting opportunities, even if at club level he's not getting the success maybe we thought he would in a PSG. But I think it's also fair to talk about Ronaldo's outputs in these last times, especially in the National League, because I actually surprised me when I checked the stats. He has 6 goals in 7 games, which makes him the top scorer for both Portugal and the whole tournament overall. So every single player in the Nations League, Ronaldo is the guy with the most goals. And to be fair to you, I didn't expect Ronaldo to be this good. He has 6 goals, which is very well done for him. He has scored braces against Poland. He scored against Denmark too. So not only he scored against like really bad teams, like the friendlies he had against Kazakhstan or Latvia or San Marino or whatever. He's actually playing well in the National League. However, when the time comes around, he doesn't perform as well. If you look at the Euros, if you look at the last Euros and the last World Cup, he only has 1 goal in 10 games. So I think it's fair to say that I can see the frustration in a lot of Portuguese fans to not see Ronaldo as the main player right now, as not see Ronaldo as a guy who deserves to be a guaranteed starter, a guaranteed striker. If not gonna retribute with a lot of positive outputs in the big tournaments, and even in the last game against Denmark, I think was a big example. Yes, it did score, but it missed a penalty, which was an atrocious technique of a run, fair to say. It missed a lot of opportunities to put Portugal ahead. He scored a goal which was kind of, I won't say an easy one because it was out of balance or whatever. It wasn't a hard one, and he also, in terms of link-up play, you did see that he was dropping up in performance. So I would say he plays well. There are a lot of games where he plays really well, and you can see kind of glimpses of a player he was. But there are other games as well where he's not the player that he once was, and it's obvious that he shouldn't be on the pitch at the time. To be fair, that man is already 40 years old. I mean, for a player of obviously Ronaldo is maybe the GOAT, or was the world's best player for a long time, was battling with Messi for a long period. We see how great and how good Ronaldo was in his prime and all his career, but it's time to admit he is 40 years old, and a player that is 40 years old shouldn't really be able to impact games at a high level every single time. Even how good Ronaldo is natural. Even if a lot of doctors say, oh, he has a body of a 26-year-old or whatever, that's not really true, is it? He's still pretty old, he's playing at the league, doesn't have the highest level of competition for him to really to come into international break and play at a high level. Because he's not playing at the highest level with Al Nassr, he's not going to play at a very high level with Portugal. So you have all these factors, his age, his league that he's playing in. For him to still be coming into Portugal and still be playing how he is, I mean, it's not at all bad. But so to still be playing how he is, I have to give credit to Ronaldo. He's still a good player for us, and I want to see my opinion on him later. But I don't think a lot of criticism should be pointed to him. So as I said, my final thoughts on Ronaldo is, I mean, he's been playing well lately. Numbers don't lie. He's been playing well lately. Even if the Euros at World Cup, he hasn't really been showing enough for him to really get that guaranteed starter mark. But he's still playing good lately, and he still has a very, very big influence off the pitch. For a lot of these guys in our squad, I mean, Ronaldo and more guys have said that Ronaldo is an idol. So for a lot of guys, playing alongside Ronaldo is maybe the biggest thing in their career. I know a lot of Ronaldo fans who say that the Portuguese players are against Ronaldo. I can say that definitely isn't true. You can see like Ronaldo has such a big influence in Portugal. I mean, I can say I'm Portuguese. I can see the influence that Ronaldo has for ourselves as a nation. Portugal really loves him. Of course, there are some people who kind of have turned their backs on Ronaldo because of he's been playing lately. But all the nation in our hearts love him. The players in that squad definitely do love him. The youngsters who are coming now to the first team, like Kanda, who has now become part of the first team, he looks up to Ronaldo. He even said when he was in the hotel and he saw Ronaldo for the first time, it's like a dream, it's like a video game. And that type of influence, you can't really put that into the team, and that's such a valuable asset. And also, like, you can really ask for a better leader than Ronaldo is. Ronaldo is a very good leader. He has shown that with Portugal in the Euro final against France. He's shown how good of a leader he is. On the bench, before the game, his talk there for the game, you really see how good of a leader Ronaldo is. And that type of leadership, that type of influence on the players that are playing with him, you can really get that. He's such a valuable asset that maybe has led Messi and Argentina to really push themselves to the boundaries of becoming an even better team than what maybe in theory they should be. So you can see how big of an influence they can have, and Ronaldo has that power. So it only comes to reason. I think the manager, Juan Martinez, for me is not good enough to be our manager. I think it really goes down to the manager knowing how to deal with Ronaldo and how to put him in the best position for him to succeed, and for the whole team to also succeed with him. I don't think he should be dropped from that. I don't think that's even a world where Ronaldo deserves to be dropped from the national squads. And however, I said I don't think he should be the guaranteed starter. I don't think every single game he should be on the team sheet or the starting 11 sheets. I don't think. I think there are games where Ronaldo should be playing. I think there are games where Ronaldo should be playing. I think it should be more of obviously to start a lot of games, but it's fair to admit that he should be playing a lot of games. He should be playing a lot of situations where it's late in the game and his fitness isn't the same. He's not giving as much, and that's time to give Gonçalo Ramos the chance to impress ourselves with his ability and to really give him a chance, because a lot of times we can see that Ronaldo is not only not helping, is also kind of tearing apart our team. So for me, I would say I'm kind of in the middle. I don't say it should be dropped from the team and should retire from international football. I don't think that's the case. But I think Ronaldo should not be a guaranteed starter. He shouldn't be getting the minutes that he's getting. As I said before, I think it's insane that Ronaldo is getting the minutes that he has been getting over Bruno and Ruben Dias. I think he should still be considered a squad player. I think he should still start a number of games. I think Gonçalo Ramos should also be included more in the plans for the squad moving on. And to be fair, I mean, Ronaldo probably have Ronaldo for the next 2 years. At most, I think 2 years we can kind of see. And to be fair, looking at the youth friends from Portugal, looking at the guys who are not on this squad, I don't see any striker that has the ceiling to become the starting striker in between 2 years. So Ronaldo really, in my opinion, can only go down as the backup number 9. Because there's not a guy, in my opinion, can go to the level of Ronaldo is right now. So for me, I think that's where his spot should be at, competing for the number 1 spot.